This is how I pick winning trades almost every single day of the week. And the reason why I say almost every single day of the week is because I don't always find opportunities every day. So this is how it works. I have this desktop application, and here you can see two countdown timers. On the right hand side, we have the next daily analysis. So what this does is 2 hours after the New York close, it will do a full fundamental check on all the currency pairs. And then it will grade them based on specific filters. And here on the left hand side, you can see next technical check. So what this does is every 15 minutes, it will pull information from your MetaTrader 4 or MetaTrader 5 platform and then find pairs that lines up with the fundamental analysis. So currently you can see we have the euro dollar bullish trend continuation here, and it was added at 7:15. Now, in addition to that, on the chart itself, it will tell you whether the bias on the current time frame that you're on is matching the pick identified in the daily time frame picks tab. And if it's matching, it will tell you all good, volume bias confirms the pick direction, focus on clean structure and look for valid opportunities. And then on the chart itself, you can see these volume support zones and volume resistance zone. And then you can also see these yellow dots. Now the yellow dots just basically means there's momentum behind the move. But if your pick is bullish, you really do want to ignore these. And an opportunity that would make more sense is to look for a support volume zone that lines up with this blue support level. So that would make for a good opportunity. The second thing is this breakout here, the breakout out of this resistance zone. And then you can just take profit in this volume resistance zone. Now, the volume resistance zone and the volume support zone, they do move around because the volume moves around. Now, what you also find sometimes is that the bias on the time frame you're looking at, now I personally look at the 15-minute time frame, if it doesn't align with the pick that you can see in your daily time frame picks, it will give you a warning and warn you that the time frame that you're looking at is not aligned with the daily time frame pick. So in that case, you're going to wait for this to turn green, and then you're going to focus on clean structure and look for valid trading opportunities. Now, in addition to that, you can see I have this analyze for buy and analyze for sell buttons. So if I do see a good opportunity, for example, if we are trading away from the support level, but I just want double confirmation just to make sure I'm not missing anything critical, I can just click on this analyze for buy button. You can see it says send for analysis. And now on the desktop application, if you go to the live analysis tab, you'll see here at the top, it's now busy with the signal. It takes about 10 seconds to give you a verdict based on exactly where you are on the chart when you press the button. Right, so it tells us there are some obstacles. So let's find out what those obstacles are. So it tells us the volume bias is bullish across all three timeframes, with price trading above all POCs, confirming the buy direction. Though price is within 3.1 to 9.5 pips of all three POC levels, creating strong magnetic pull that could stall or retrace the move before gaining traction. Well, that's useful. The H1 ADX shows trending up, which provides positive higher time frame momentum support for this M15 buy signal, while M15 ADX is trending down, presenting mild intraday friction. And RSI is 47.14 is neutral, neither confirming nor conflicting with direction. Pre-calculated room to previous day's high at 1.16858 is described as decent at 33.7 pips, offering a viable target. But the cluster of three POC magnetic levels directly beneath entry means price must fight through significant volume profile gravity before reaching that target. And that kind of lines up with what we can see here. So it's pretty accurate. So it gives you a lot of additional information that's extremely valuable for when you want to place a trade. And then below that, we have key data. So the web search findings was the euro dollar fell to 1.1644 on June the 1st, 2026, down 0.14% on the session, with the euro attempting to recover from a recent 6-week low. ECB hawkishness is the dominant driver. ECB board member Isabel Schnabel stated the ECB should raise rates in June regardless of geopolitical developments, and money markets are now pricing a 90% probability of a 25 base point hike at the June 11 ECB meeting, which is euro positive medium term. ECB minutes also revealed some policymakers would have backed an April hike if proposed, reinforcing the hawkish tilt. On the geopolitical side, a US-Iran 60-day ceasefire extension MOU was reported, pending Trump approval, offering modest risk sentiment support. while a Russian drone strike in Romania's Galati kept geopolitical risk elevated. New Fed Chair Kevin Warsh took office in May 2026. Markets are assessing his stance relative to Powell. Macro backdrop broadly supports euro upside bias heading into June the 11th ECB decision. Major upcoming event, ECB rate decision, Thursday, June the 11th, 2026, and this is my local time, with Lagarde press conference at 13:45. This is the single biggest near-term catalyst for euro dollar and will dominate sentiment this week. So just by pressing that button once, you'll get a full verdict based on exactly where you are on the chart at that moment when you press this button over here. Plus, you'll get a full fundamental breakdown in just a few sentences. So that's how I get my winning trades most days of the week. I wait for the application to do the fundamental analysis once a day, and then do the technical check every 15 minutes, wait for it to tell me which pairs to focus on, and then once that pair has been identified, this application will automatically send this pair to my MetaTrader platform, so MT4 or MT5. So I don't have to manually add and remove these pairs. It will automatically add and remove them as and when they appear over here. And then from there, I just make sure that I get a bias confirmation in this text over here, and then I'll look for valid opportunities. Now, at the moment, obviously, you can see we are rejecting from this volume resistance zone. So obviously there's nothing at the moment, but as soon as I do get to a level of interest, I will start to pay attention and look for an entry. Guys, you can get a 14-day free trial on this desktop application. There's no card required. So test the system for 14 days. Ask any questions if you have any. Get your free trial. The link is down below. Thanks for watching.